We ended our session with this numerical. So we have one SCR being driven by a 100-volt DC supply, and it is driving a 1 kilo ohm resistive load. And the SCR specs given are the on-state voltage drop is 1.5 volt, and the on-state resistance is 1 ohm. Okay. So, and the question is asked that will SCR become latched in the above circuit? If answer to the above question is no, find the limiting value of load resistor to ensure latching. Now, the question asked is will SCR become latched in above circuit? This question is incomplete. So let me put the comments here. Now, if we see carefully at the gate terminal, at the gate terminal, no pulse is shown. No pulse triggering is shown. So when no pulse triggering is shown, it means that there is no gate drive. So we can write the answer like this. So since the gate terminal is open, that is no gate triggering is done, the condition, I can say the necessary condition, the necessary condition to have a possible latching is V in should be greater than or equal to VBO, that is greater than or equal to 600 volt. Okay, so it's given that this SCR is having the part number TYN612 whose breakover voltage is 600 volt. So since gate terminal is open, that is no gate triggering is done, the necessary condition to have a possible latching is Vin is greater than VBO, and Vin is 600 is 100 volts. I can write down here, but Vin equal to 100 volts, that it is less than VBO. Therefore, SCR cannot latch. Okay. Now we change the numerical in some way. We will show that a pulse is applied. A pulse is applied. So pulse triggering is there. So this is case 1. Case 2. So an appropriate pulse is applied at gate with respect to cathode. Okay, so we can say the necessary condition for latching SCR at Vin less than breakover voltage is satisfied, which may lead to latching. Okay. So an appropriate pulse is applied at gate with respect to cathode. Hence the necessary condition for latching SCR at Vin less than VBO is satisfied, which may lead to latching. Now whether it will lead to latching or not will be decided if the device current is exceeding the latching current. Okay. So now we say that the sufficient condition for SCR latching is device current IA is greater than or equal to latching current. In our case, that is IA should be greater than or equal to 50 milliamperes. It is given already that latching current is 50 milliamperes. Now we will find out what is the actual current in the circuit. Let us redraw the circuit now. Now since gate triggering is done, once triggered, SCR offers on-state drop of 1.5 volts, offers on-state drop of 1.5 volts and on-state resistance equal to 1 ohms. Hence, it is equal to voltage source of 1.5 volts and a resistance of 1 ohms. So this is the electrical equivalent of the SCR once it is fired. Okay, 1.5 volt. That is why we will replace it now, redrawing the circuit. One kilo ohms, 1 ohms, 1.5 volt, 100, right? The current flowing through SCR is IA. So IA is equal to 100 minus 1.5 upon 1 ohm plus 1 kilo ohm. So it is equal to 98.5 upon 1001 ohms equal to 98.4 milliamperes. Is equal to, okay. So since latching current is 50 milliamperes and IA equal to 98.4 milliamperes, that is greater than IL, conclusion is SCR will latch. Okay, we had asked the question, if the answer to the above question is no, find the limiting value of load resistor to ensure latching. The thing is that how much can I increase the load resistor to ensure latching. So I can reframe the question now that okay, even if it is latched, but what if the load resistor goes on increasing? So I can frame this question like this, that till what maximum value can I increase RL to ensure latching? Very simple. The device current IA is equal to V in minus V on upon R on plus RL, and this has to be greater than or equal to IL, that is greater than or equal to 50 milliamperes, that is 0.05. So let us put the values. So V in minus V on upon R on plus RL should be greater than or equal to 0.05. So it's 100 minus 1.5 upon 1 plus RL should be greater than or equal to 0.05. So we have 0.05 into RL plus 1 should be less than equal to 98.5. So RL plus 1 is less than equal to 98.5 divided by 0.05. So 1970. So it's 1970 ohms. I can say RL should be less than equal to 1969 ohms. So I can say RL max should be equal to 1969 ohms. This is the limiting value of RL. Okay. So suppose if I take the value as 1970, it will come less than 50 milliamperes, which will not allow the SCR to latch. Okay, I hope that you got some idea, what is the significance of on-state drop of the SCR, on-state resistance of the SCR. So we have solved this numerical from two perspectives. Case number one is that the gate terminal is shown open, that is there is no gate triggering, and when there is no gate triggering, the first condition is the battery voltage here should be greater than 600 volts. So it is not greater than 600, so it will not latch at all. Okay. Case number two, suppose I am applying a gate pulse for the appropriate duration and with the appropriate amplitude. Then once the gate pulse is applied, the SCR now acts as 1.5 volts source in series with a 1 ohm resistor. We have put it here, and using simple network theorems or formulas, we have found out that the device current is 98.4 milliamperes, which is greater than latching current. So yes, if gate pulse is applied in this circuit, then SCR will surely latch. And then we went on to find out that we know that if I increase the value, of RL, then IA is going to reduce. But then till what value can I increase RL? You can increase RL only till that value, till the IA is greater than or equal to 50 milliamperes, and we have solved that also, and we found out that the maximum allowable value of the load resistor is 1969 ohms, above which the device current will fall below latching current and the SCR will not be able to latch. Okay, so now we go on to our next topic, which we could not cover last time, is IV characteristics of an SCR. So there are some assumptions now. First is DC gate triggering is used. Second is the input source is also DC. Third, the load is purely resistive. Fourth is the SCR used is TYN612, whose technical specifications are the breakover voltage is 600 volts, the device current maximum RMS value is 12 amperes, and the device current average value is 8 amperes. Okay, now the circuit diagram. The setup used for plotting VI characteristics is as shown below. Okay. Anode, cathode and gate. This is my source V in. Here I have my gate voltage. EG, and let this be E in. And E in is variable, and in order to vary the gate current, I'm using a variable resistor here. RG. Okay, and the potential difference between A and K will be denoted as VAK, which is one of the parameters to be plotted. And the second parameter which is plotted is the device current IA. This is my load resistor RL. Okay. So when I say IV characteristics of an SCR, actually I say that it is a plot of device current IA versus the device drop VAK. It's a plot of IA versus VAK. Okay, so this is the first parameter to be plotted. Second parameter IA. Okay, another important parameters are IG and EIN. Now here I am assuming that I am having a facility. I'm having a facility to provide breakover voltage. Okay, so here I'm assuming that can be increased till breakover voltage. Okay, so I'll make some modifications here. 6. The fifth assumption is facility to apply EIN equal to VBO equal to 600 volts. Okay, right, and there is also a switch here. Okay, so when the switch is closed, gate drive is applied. When the switch is open, gate drive is not applied. Okay, so when I open the switch, then EIN has to be increased to breakover voltage in order to latch the SCR, right? Yeah, and I can also say that RL is so chosen. RL is chosen so as to allow the device current greater than or equal to IL. Okay, this is an important assumption. Yeah, now case 1, IG equal to 0. Okay, so IG equal to 0, and EIN, so gate drive is not applied, and here I have EIN greater than equal to 0 but less than VBO. It's very important. Okay, so now the switch is open, so I will just say like this. Fine, again let me make some changes. Can say switch equal to open, hence IG equal to 0, and also EIN is positive but it is less than breakover voltage VBO. In this case, the analysis is that IA will be equal to 0 till EIN equals VBO. Okay, So case number 1 is Ig equal to 0 and E in is greater than 0 but it is less than breakover voltage. So the device current is 0 till E in reaches VBO. Okay. Yeah. Now case number 2. Ig is still equal to 0 but now E in is equal to VBO. So initially the E in was less than breakover voltage, but now it is equal to VBO. So what will happen? SCR's junction J2 will break down SCR will start conducting and SCR will latch if IA is greater than equal to latching current, and we have already told that this condition is already fulfilled, so it will latch. Now when SCR starts conducting, understand one thing, that SCR starts conducting means the VAK will be equal to 0.7. Let us keep it as 1 volt, equal to 1 volt, right? So here once the SCR starts conducting, the drop across SCR will be 1 volt, and if it is latched then the value of current will be equal to IL. So I can just write down the parameters here. So in this condition my IA will be equal to IL and my VAK will be equal to 1 volt. These are the values which we have to plot on the quadrants. That is why I'm writing it. Okay. Now case number 3. The case number 3 is that switch S is closed. Okay, switch S is closed, and another condition which I'm writing, just like I have written that the value of RL is so chosen that the value of IA is greater than equal to IL. Here also I have to write a condition. What is the condition here? The condition here is value of RG is so chosen that the gate current is greater than gate threshold current, another critical value. So value of RG is so chosen that IG is greater than IGT, because without IG having a value greater than the gate threshold current, the SCR will not be able to uh, trigger from the gate side. Okay, switch S is closed. So IG is equal to IGT. Now, as soon as I am applying the gate current, the SCR now gets the ability to conduct at values of E in less than the breakover voltage. So, since gate drive is applied, SCR gets the ability to conduct for all values of E in less than VBO. Okay, since gate drive is applied, SCR gets the ability to conduct for all values of E in less than VBO. Okay, now say we have applied the gate current through a potentiometer R. So I have a facility of increasing IG above the minimum threshold or IGT value. Okay, so as I told you that in the presence of gate drive, the value of E in at which the SCR latches is called as a firing voltage. Okay, so this is in connection with what we have discussed before. So next point is this. If at IG equal to IGT, if at IG equal to IGT, SCR latches at a firing voltage VF1. Okay, so understand students, for the gate current equal to gate threshold current, the SCR will latch at a firing voltage VF1. Okay, then which is less than the breakover voltage. As I increase the value of IG above IGT, SCR will latch at values lesser than VF1. Okay, so at IG equal to IGT, SCR latches at a firing voltage VF1. As I increase the value of IG above IGT, SCR will latch at values lesser than VF1. Okay, so for example, say if we have a lookup table of IG versus the firing voltage, then we can make a table like this. First, when IG is 0, then V firing is equal to breakover voltage. When IG is equal to gate threshold, then it is VF1. Then I have IG1, then I have IG2, and then I have IG3. Ig3. Then for Ig1, I have the next firing voltage Vf2. For Ig2, I have Vf3, and for Ig3, I have Vf4. Okay, and Vf4 is less than Vf3, is less than Vf2, is less than Vf1, much less than VBO. Okay, let me take it here now. So we can say that as Ig increases, as Ig increases above Igt, the V firing voltage goes on reducing. Okay? Yeah. Case number 4. Now we are going to convert all these cases into a quadrant very soon. For SCR is already latched, and SCR now has to go from latched to the block state. Okay, so case number 4 is already latched, and SCR now has to go from latched to the block state. And as we already told, that there are only two ways of commutating an SCR. Okay, so two ways of blocking or commutating an SCR. First is reverse bias the SCR, that is anode is negative with respect to cathode. Anode is negative with respect to cathode. Reverse bias the SCR. And the second solution is force the value of IA below holding current. Now in this particular setup, I do not have any facility to apply a negative voltage at anode with respect to cathode. At least I have not kept that facility here. Okay, so we can say that this particular solution is not possible. This is not possible as I cannot reverse the battery terminals. This is possible because I can always reduce IA by reducing E in. Okay, so I have given the provision for varying the value of E in. So I increase E in, the value of device current goes on increasing. If I reduce E in, then the value of device current will go on reducing. Why do I say so? It's very simple. Okay, it's very simple. The anode current is now flowing like this. Okay, it's flowing like this. It's flowing like this in the loop. Okay, and it is having absolutely no connection with the gate current. Okay, so gate current is flowing like this and the anode current is flowing like this. They are two different circuits. This is the output circuit, power circuit is a control circuit. Okay, so I can say this is the control circuit and this is the power circuit. And the objectionable thing about this setup is that there is no isolation. There is no isolation. Now, if we apply a simple, network concept to the power circuit, we can very clearly say we can put down the expression for the anode current IA. So why I say so? It's very simple. The anode current IA is equal to the battery voltage minus on state drop of the SCR upon the on state resistance of SCR plus RL. Okay, now V on is very small compared to E in, and R on is also much lesser than RL. Therefore, I can say that IA is approximately equal to E in upon RL. That means I can say that it is directly proportional to E in, and I can also say that it is inversely proportional to RL. But RL is constant in our case. Okay, you see here the RL is not shown as potentiometer, so RL is constant here. Okay, so I can say that since RL is constant, so I can say that IA is proportional to E in only. That means what? In this circuit I can reduce E in to reduce IA. So in this case number 4, what we can say is since IA is proportional to E in, as E in reduces, IA will reduce. From Imax towards 0. Okay, so we already said that the value of anode current is proportional to E in. So when E in becomes 0, IA also becomes 0. Okay, so IA will reduce from Imax to 0. So when E in falls to 0, then and IA also falls to 0. But there is one critical value which is above 0. So we already told, now this students is very very important. Okay, so we can say that how do we relate latching current, holding current and zero current. Okay, it's very simple. Okay, so this is my latching current, little below that is holding current, and then this is 0. Okay, so latching current is greater than holding current and both of them are greater than 0. Okay, so having said that IH is above 0, and I can also mention here like this, that this is I max, I have IL, I have IH, and I have 0. So from I max, from IL up to I max, it is latched. So from IL up to I max, it is latched during turn on process. From I max down to IH, it is latched during turn off process. This is already discussed before, and definitely below IH it is blocked. Okay, okay. Now we have case number 5, which is reverse bias. So case number 1, 2 for all forward bias, and case number 5 is reverse bias condition. Reverse bias means anode is negative with respect to cathode, J1, J3 are reverse biased, J2 is forward biased. There are two obstructions now, so definitely IA equal to 0, and we can say SCR is blocked because SCR does not conduct in reverse bias condition normally. So it is a unidirectional device. But there is an exception to this, that is if the value of E in, okay, let's say if the negative value of E in, so E in is already negative, so I can say here reverse bias means E in is negative. So if the negative value of E in, it exceeds another critical value called as VBR. So VBR actually is reverse breakdown voltage. Then J1 comma J3, they undergo a breakdown. SCR conducts in reverse direction similar to a reverse bias diode, a reverse bias diode. And if the IA is not limited, then the power dissipation across the SCR will become greater than the PD max, and ultimately SCR will get damaged. Okay, so this is called as a forbidden condition of SCR. So case number 5 is called as forbidden condition. Okay, SCR should never be reverse biased. Okay, fine. Okay, so we can summarize 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5. Okay, so here I have the device current plus IA, and I have the reverse current IR. This is my anode to cathode drop. This is my minus VAK. There are some critical values here. Breakover voltage, VBO. Similarly, I have another critical value here, VBR. Okay, so let me write it above. We have the reverse breakdown voltage here, and we have one value here called as Imax, that is how much the circuit allows. I have a value latching current here, and I have another value which is holding current here. So we have Imax, we have IL, we have IH, and we have the voltage values VBO, and we have VBR. Okay, so and then we have the family of curves. We have Ig equal to 0, we have Ig equal to IGT equal to Ig1, 2 and 3. Okay, and we have Ig3 is greater than Ig2 is greater than Ig1 is greater than IGT, greater than 0. Yeah. So it will take another 5 minutes. So I will not extend it because I don't want to eat up on the time of another staff member. We will continue tomorrow. Not an issue.